Welcome back to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And in this case, we're honored to be with two of our good friends who are change makers indeed. We've known them for a long time, and they are doing so much good for Memphis and the Mid-South. We're talking about STS Enterprise Corporation and their co-founders, Alton and Jeremy Calhoun. How are you two guys doing?
Man, blessed.
What's going on, Jeremy? Always good to see you, man. How you doing?
Hey, doing good. You two are change makers indeed. And we've known you for a long time when you look at the work you're doing with your nonprofit over 10 years. And so, Jeremy, let's start with you. Give us some background and what led you two to launch STS Enterprise Corporation.
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy. Man, 2012 had a situation similar to what we have now. There's a climate where there's a lot of opportunity to invest and impact our young people. And Alton and I, we got involved early on in college. And from there, it's kind of taken off. We've started on the campus of the University of Memphis. Both of us were juniors in the University of Memphis, but wanted to roll up our sleeves and give back instead of, complaining about the issue with our young people. We rolled up our sleeves and wanted to see how we could get involved. And that led us on a path of just meeting with young people weekly in the University of Memphis, bringing them on campus. Ultimately, we got a grant from the University of Memphis that allowed us to become a nonprofit. And from there, we've been hitting the ground running. And we've had a lot of changes and we've evolved in a lot of ways since 2012. Started as a mentoring program, and then we started mentoring young people. Then realized that it's hard to mentor without an economic component here in Memphis, with poverty levels are high. Right, so then we start doing more career and workforce development, really trying to connect students with jobs. And that led to we saw a lot of success there. And now we've kind of reinvented ourselves again. And now our goal is to reactivate a city's natural pipeline for talent. So we're a workforce and development. We're a workforce and career readiness company now. I'm here in Memphis, and we're working primarily with our high school and college students.
Alton, talk about, because we've known you for a long time, and I consider you both good friends. And so knowing you in college, and I give you two tremendous credit because as college students, you said, we're going to do this and we're going to do it for all the right reasons. And now both of you, professionals, amazing career, pouring into youth, doing all of this good and really burning the candle on every end possible for the benefit to transform lives. Talk about your personal growth through this journey as college students and as now, married with kids and families and professionals. So talk about your evolution in this as well.
Yeah, one, Jeremy, got to give kudos to you and thanks to Jeremy Park. I know we got two Jeremys on the call. Jeremy, thank you, one, for having us on here. Always supporting, been one of those day one supporters. It's been an amazing journey. It's been a blessing. Because I think sometimes when you talk about program, you talk about a student's journey, a person's journey, sometimes you talk from a third person perspective where you saw somebody else do it. In this case, we actually experience what these students are experiencing, right? Being in a new city, going to University of Memphis, in a new environment, being first time college students, getting connected with somebody like, Jeremy and in the city current team, this team, getting connected there, getting to experience the professional world in Memphis, attending some of the previous Memphis Urban League of Young Professional events. Like those things were invigorating, right? And being able to start STS and show them as we're going through our journey, we're teaching them where we just came out of, right? So it's a fresh perspective of what they get to experience and gaining the internships and getting to the career field. We're letting them know that this is possible, but also giving some of the things the intangibles, but also the key strategic things they need to do, the skills they need to build, the habits they need to build. And it's been amazing. And we realize there's even so much more that we have to learn as young professionals that we thought, oh man, we got the internship, we got the job, not knowing there's a whole nother level of equipment that you need to get to level that we desire and that God has purposed us to go. And so it's been amazing. It's been amazing, and to see some of our students transition into that phase from being a college student to actually volunteering and now working for STS has been amazing. And we couldn't plan this. We couldn't have planned this. We didn't know that this was going to happen. But through consistency, through supportive folks like yourself and your team and our volunteers, man, it's possible. So yeah, it's been amazing.
Well, and you bring up a lot of really good points in the sense that, one, you've walked in the shoes. And so when you talk about mentorship and guiding, you can speak from personal experience, and there's power in that. You also, too, take a very collaborative approach. And then when you talk about, just as Jeremy was alluded to, is the economic piece of this, the job skills, the training. And so there's mentorship, but there's economic power as well. And so Jeremy, go ahead and talk about the programs, because you have a lot of new things going on as well. And so dive into the programs.
Yeah. We have two primary programs. One for our middle school and high school students is STS Strive. And these young people are striving to that next level of their lives, so that post-secondary opportunity. And this is where students are going to get a lot of career inspiration. We don't want students in our program that just know 5 or 6 careers. There are hundreds of thousands of careers out there, and our goal is to bring that, expose them to those careers and the careers that they kind of take a liking to. How do we now do some additional education that will prepare them to make a decision when it's time for them to graduate high school? Then we have our collegiate program. Let me go back. The high school and middle school and high school program works with high school students and middle school students locally here in the Memphis community. So you can be in a private school, charter school, Memphis Shelby County Schools, Collierville school system. It's available to anyone that's in the Memphis metro area. Then we have our collegiate program, which is called STS Elite. And we work with all 5 universities, and we have actual programming on 2 of the universities. So University of Memphis and Lemoyne College. So we partner with those schools, and we have programming. And again, that program is all designed to help students transition and navigate their collegiate experience. We want them in there with jobs, so postgraduate opportunities. That means either they're landing a job before they graduate, or they're getting into grad school. That's what we deem as success. So we're really trying to focus on helping these students get experiential learning opportunities, job shadowing, campus tours, to get on campus to learn about a number of these companies. And then again, our goal is to get them placed in jobs. And then we have a number of initiatives. I won't run through them all, but we have initiatives that are really tied to support the program. So we have our real estate inspiring leaders program called REAL. It takes place over the summer. It's a 5-week cohort model, and students learn about all the different components of real estate. So not just the agent, the lending office, commercial real estate, the inspectors, the appraisers. They do a number of new construction. They look at it all. And we also have our So You Want to Be virtual career series, where we bring people from all over the nation virtually, and students get a chance to meet them and learn about their career. And hopefully it's a career that they desire to do. So we have So You Want to Be a Nurse, So You Want to Be an IT professional, So You Want to Be an accountant, right? So You Want to Be an entrepreneur. And you meet with these individuals virtually. And then I'll wrap it up with our Bridging the Gap. I know Alton will talk more about this, but this Bridging the Gap initiative is a big piece of our career exploration. Our goal is to expose these young people to a number of careers. And hey, if you want to be a podcaster, we're going to sit you down with the podcaster so that we can make that dream and that goal more of a reality. You ask some questions, get some feedback, get connected, and hopefully that provides some additional self-awareness and equips you with the information you need to not only pursue that career, but make it an actual reality.
So much of it is the relationship. It's bringing relationships to the youth to show them what's possible, but to give them access through the professionals that are doing it. And so I love the fact that you're bringing the community together. You're opening up the mentorship and, the possibilities on all ends. And so carry that forward, Alton, on your end, because you're working with over 100 students to do this. And I think there's a powerful opportunity when you look at what that means for our community moving forward.
and this is a kind of a call to action here. So we were blessed to create. We are a collaborative organization, right? We have a number of different nonprofits, organization, companies that we collaborate with to do a lot of these initiatives, right? Because we can't continue to operate in silo. We got to work together. We got to create unity, right? We got to come and unify as a community. And so with that being said, we have about 100 students that literally are under our tutelage that need to know about a certain career field, right? So we're seeking professionals that have an hour of time. They can jump on a Zoom call, talk to a student about their education, their career, their trajectory, their experience, their exposure, what their company does, potentially some of the income that they're able to make. And what that does, and what we realize is a lot of young people don't know about all the opportunities that exist in Memphis and in Shelby County, right? They think that the most opportunities may lie outside of the city, when reality, a lot of strong, small, mid-sized, and large companies exist in here in Memphis. They can gain a lot of exposure and experiences. The benefit to the student is they can get that exposure, they can get that experience, right? They can potentially gain an internship or whatever opportunity may come from it. But for the company, they now have brand recognition amongst the young people that would be buying with them down the road, right? So it's a really good opportunity to expose them early to your company, and may potentially be the opportunity to hire them down the road when they get into their post-secondary career field, right? And so it's a really great opportunity that marries together between the student benefiting and also the company and the professional benefiting. And at the end of the day, I think there's something that happens in your gut, in your heart, when you connect with a young person, you know, you poured into them, right? You may not see the results down the road. You may not get to see that person go in their trajectory, go into a career field, but you know that you made a difference by taking time and pouring into a student. And so we're looking for professionals that want to sign up for the initiative, that want to participate in that, to take an hour out of the day to have a conversation with students about their career field. And the careers vary as well.
Yeah, and you're making it very easy. I mean, you're talking about an hour over Zoom. So professionals, you can squeeze that in. And to your point, it's creating relationships and breaking down those silos. And it's also bringing our community together, because it shows for the youth there are people who care, and that there are opportunities right here in your hometown. And then on both sides, you're also opening up, and you're creating relationships that ultimately bring our community together. And I think that's an important piece of what you've always done and what you continue to do personally and professionally, and obviously with STS Enterprise Corporation. And STS, for everyone, setting the standard, and that's exactly what you're doing. So talk about how the community can get involved and support your efforts.
Yeah, as Alton mentioned, we have a form for volunteers. You can sign up, and we'll make sure we get that form to you, Jeremy. But you can sign up, and you can help review a resume. You can help a student do a mock interview. You can come in and serve as a facilitator in one of our sessions. You can do, as Alton mentioned, when we do a lot of our career exploration, come in and tell them about your career, whether it's virtual or in person. Also for corporations, you can sponsor us. You can sponsor a session, right? You can sponsor the food for the day. You can be the title sponsor for the whole programmatic year. That's something that we're really looking for. We're trying to give individuals a variety of ways to get involved, right? You may not have the time, but you financially can help. You may not have the finances, but you have the time. We want to make it easy for individuals to get involved in STS, because the work that we are doing can't be done by ourselves. It has to take the entire city of Memphis, right, to impact and re-engage these young people, to really not only let them see value in themselves, but let them see value in Memphis. And if they see value in Memphis, right, it's going to change the entire tide of our city, right? It's going to be able to change the thought process of our city. How do we look at our city? But ultimately, they look at Memphis as a place where they can build and have a family. And that's what we want. We want Memphis to grow and be that thriving city that we know it can be.
For each one of you, when you look at a decade at this point, give us some of the either stats or just what in general puts a smile on your face when you talk about the impact that you're having for our city.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. I was literally about to go in. I mean, so for example, Transnetics, right? Christine Essery, met her 9 years ago at the Breakfast Club, City Current now, met her there, build a long-term relationship. We ended up doing a job shadowing day for some students at her site for a high school and college program. One of our students got to actually have a conversation with Bob Bean. As we all know, Bob Bean, very friendly, very cordial gentleman. Had a conversation with him. She asked him a question and all that good stuff because we challenged them to ask questions. She graduates from high school, ends up leaving and going to Alabama, moves back to Memphis, Christina's on our board. They consistently give finance to the organization, but she ended up bringing one of our students on board as an intern. 90-day experience, making sure, get a job or to get the experience. They end up hiring on as a full-time employee 60 days in, right? That is how you create economic mobility. That is an amazing way relationships that we met 9 years ago, right? They end up doing a job shadowing initiative, end up hiring some really good talent, and now has changed the trajectory of that young person's life. And so those are the opportunities and the experiences that we've seen. The previous 2 years, our students has generated over $3.5 million in earned income, right? 2 years, right? So think about when we look at the data over the last 10 years, how we're moving the economic needle moving forward. Most of our students exist here in the city. Now, we do have some outliers that have moved to California to make the big bucks. They moved to New York to make the big bucks. We got some students that's in the Dominican Republic. Got some students that's in Nashville that's serving in our military. But those are the results of what we see. And I think those are the numbers, right? But things that you don't see is the confidence the student is able to build, right? Where you're able to take a student and activate their talent. If they have a talent in art, if they have a talent in music, you're able to put them in a space where they're able to activate it. Shout out to Connect Music Group that literally let one of our students house their space and sing some of their songs at their location, right? After they attended a session of ours, right? So those are the amazing opportunities that STS is able to create, but in collaboration with companies, organizations, nonprofits in our city of Memphis that's moving the economic needle forward, but also the social impact here in our city.
Yeah. And I love that you bring up, there are the good numbers, but the reality is when you talk about life change and transformation, there's so much more of the personal storylines, the confidence and the skills, and just being a role model, a change maker for themselves, our community, their family. I think all of it doing it the right way. That's you can't put a number on that. And so I love and appreciate everything you all are doing. Go ahead and wrap up with contact information. So website, social media, where do we go to get involved with STS?
If you want to see the city take the next level, if you want to find a way that you could positively affect, our youth, our crime in our city, STS is one of those vehicles, right? We truly believe that if we tap into these young people like we've seen to help them get jobs, to help them really find their why, right? We've seen countless, we have so many examples of these young people not only staying in Memphis, getting jobs in Memphis, but becoming productive citizens here in the city of Memphis. So we are a proactive way that you can get involved to help that, and we would love your support. So again, just contact information on our website. You can visit it at www.stsenterprise.org. You can also visit our LinkedIn and all of our social media accounts, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, with STS Enterprise. And then we always want to challenge people. Again, we take an approach that makes it very easy. If you can give up a cup of Starbucks for the day, if you can give up lunch for a day, for $10 a month, you can make sure and become one of our partners in excellence, because you're not making a donation, you're making an investment. And that's what we believe. And we know that people that invest, they want a return on investment. And that's what STS is. So for $10 a month, you can go higher than that, but for $10 a month, you can make sure that our program not only continues to run, but that student at Lamar College has the business attire that they need to go in and do a great job of that interview. For $10 a month, you can make sure that the high school student that wants to be an engineer has the ability to go connect with the engineering firm to really make sure turn their dreams into reality. So again, that's our call to action. Help us continue to make an impact in the city of Memphis.
Yeah. Well, Jeremy and Alton, thank you so much for all you do. You two are indeed change makers, making a huge difference in our community, and we greatly appreciate it. So thanks for all you've done and continue to do. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you for the opportunity.